All right, guys, so first thing we need to do is we need to download the Arduino program. So let's go here to arduino.cc. And once you're there, then we're going to go to software and download. So this guy will be in the comments section below, but literally if you put in Arduino download, then you'll be able to find this. So we'll go to software, then downloads. And there are two versions here. So there's the Arduino web editor here, so you can code within the web. But we're going to download the IDE here. So let me just make myself a little bit smaller here. Give me 2 seconds. No, yes, okay. So we're going to download the one that's appropriate for our operating system. So either the Windows or the Mac or the Linux one. I have a Windows 10, so I'm going to download the Windows 10. So we just click on this guy. Then it brings you to this page. Now, before you move on from this page and just hit just download, remember that these guys have provided everything for free for us, right? So everything on the Arduino is open source. The actual Arduino is open source. All the software is open source. And there's a huge community where we all build together and learn from each other here. So once you've learned quite a bit and you're like, wow, I'm actually like, this is an awesome product, then come back to these guys and then donate whatever value that you feel fits, right? So I've already donated, so I'm going to just download. But I mean, there's 45 million downloads here. So I'm hoping that a portion of them, of the people who are downloading here, are actually providing a donation here. But it's like a Patreon account. You're loving the fact that they've provided you this this microcontroller to work with, and you're just giving them a shout out there. Okay, so let's go to just download. Okay, so we'll save the file here. And what am I using? I'm using Firefox, so my downloads are up here. So let's open this guy here. Okay. And let me just get rid of these guys. I already did this on a previous video that I messed up. So they give me 2 seconds just to get rid of these bad boys. Okay, and let's open up this guy. And you may need to put in your password. Okay, then we're going to agree to the conditions here. We're going to install everything here. So we'll hit next there. And it looks like it's going to put it into the program files. So I'll hit install. And this takes a little bit of time here. So as it's dropping it in, what we're going to do is we're going to download the Arduino IDE. We'll bring it up and we'll see that everything's working. And then what we'll do is we're going to download the stuff from Elegoo. So in the previous video, I showed the unboxing of the Arduino kit that I was given. I'm going to be making use of that throughout. There's 2 different kits that are half decent from Elegoo, and they also have lots of PDFs that correspond to that kit as well. So I will show you where to get those guys and download them. But before we download those guys, we want to make sure that our Arduino IDE is set up, and then we can drop in the libraries that they're providing us. So give me 2 seconds here and we'll wait for this to finish up. Nice, okay, so we're all done there. So let's hit close. Okay, and then if we minimize these guys, then we now have the Arduino on our main screen here. You'll also have it if you're in Windows within your start menu. So there's Arduino, and I've pinned it to my start here as well. So let's open this guy up. And when you open any Arduino program up, it always shows you the previous program that you were working with. So possibly you have this, right? So the only difference between these two is that I've opened up the bare minimum and you've opened up a sketch and it says the date on which you're opening that up there. Okay, if you wanted to find this bare minimum, so just the basic code here, that is in, let's see, it's in examples, right? So down here, it's under File, Examples, Basic, and Bare Minimum, and then it'll bring up this program right here. Now, we're going to come back to the Arduino IDE in a little bit, but let's go and download the PDFs from Elegoo. So this will also be in the comment section below, this link. So it's elego.com, downloads, and if you're at the top of the page, it does have the downloads for the Arduino IDE for Windows, Mac, and Linux. But this one's a little bit behind the one that's on the website. So I would always go to the Arduino site here to grab the Arduino IDE. This one will download a zip file that still works, but then it'll most likely say that it needs to be updated. So let's go down to the middle of the page here, and we have the 2 kits. So I'm going to be making use of this guy, the most complete starter kit. But there also is the super starter kit. That's hard to say, the super starter kit. But it has, I believe in Canada, this one is like $65. This one is $35. The super starter kit has a large number of the components that the most complete starter kit has. I'm just going with this one because it has the most components and I can just keep going. But if you're using the super starter kit, you can get through like most of the videos at a smaller price point there. So I'll leave it up to you to which one you're going to purchase, or you have another kit, right? So it doesn't matter which Arduino kit you have, you should basically have the same components that are in there. Okay, so let's take a look at this guy. We'll click on the most complete starter kit. And when you click on it, it says that it's going to save a zip folder. So let's do that. And I'm also going to do the super starter kit at the same time. So let's go to that folder now. Okay, so the super starter kit's just coming in. Let's do the most complete starter kit. That is a zip file. So I'm going to now extract that guy. And I don't want it in my downloads. I want to put it onto my desktop so I can grab it easily. So we'll extract that guy. Okay, there's 499 items that are now going through. Okay, and then let's do this guy for the super starter kit. So I want to extract this guy again to the desktop. Excellent. And I think I may have canceled the other one just by hitting cancel there. Hang on. Let's check it out. Okay, let's minimize this guy. Let's go here. Oh, they seem to be there. Okay, let's see. The most complete starter kit. Let's open this guy up. Beautiful. Okay. So here it says the first thing in line here is copy me first. So I'm going to open this guy up. And inside here you have all of your libraries. And it might be an idea, you'll see that over here, I have my libraries on the desktop in a separate folder. So in case, or you may want to put it on a stick or something like that, sometimes like specific libraries for specific components are hard to find, or ones that work really, really well. So I often put my libraries onto a separate folder just as a backup there. So you'll notice that in my libraries, for my classes at school, I already have all the thermocouple and RTD and liquid crystal and DHT. So each of these guys, all the libraries are there that I know I need to use on a daily basis there. So you may want to make a backup of this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of these guys, and I'm going to hit Shift here and copy all of those guys. And I have all of my sketches within my documents folder, Arduino, and you can see here that there's now a folder called libraries. So I'm going to open this guy up and I'm going to paste in all of those libraries that are there. Okay, so now I should be able to call up within my program specific libraries. You don't know what I'm talking about yet, but when you call up a library, it's for a specific thing so that a component will be able to talk to the Arduino. But when I call it up, it will go to this folder here. It will grab the code and incorporate that into my code. So say we're going to do like a liquid crystal display. Let's take a look at this guy. So this guy here, I'm just going to open up in my notepad. So I've got liquidcrystal.h and liquidcrystal.cpp. And let's open this guy up. And you can see that there's a disgusting amount of code that's here that allows my LCD to work with the Arduino. So as soon as you feel comfortable, it's always the case. As soon as you feel comfortable and you're like, I really have a good understanding of Arduino programming, and I'm like a master of programming, then you look at the actual things in the background here with the libraries and you're like, wow, there's still so much to learn. So all of this code here allows the LCD to be able to talk to my Arduino. So anytime that you pull up a library, like let's take a look at another library here. So I don't know, this is the ultrasonic sensor, right? So let's open up this guy. And again, there is the .h and the .cpp file. So I'll just open this up in Notepad. And you can see here that there is a bunch of code here that allows the ultrasonic sensor to, again, talk to the Arduino. So anytime you call up the the libraries, you'll be needing these guys. So we won't be needing libraries in the beginning. It'll take us a while to get to that point, but let's drop that in first, right? So I've done a lot of talking here. We'll go back to the desktop here. We'll go to the most complete starter kit. And so we just grabbed this guy right here, copy me first, and we dropped it into our documents folder, Arduino, and then the libraries there. So how did I know to do that? Well, if you go to the Arduino site, and this is like what I'm saying, like we should really be donating a little bit of cash to these guys. Everything is spelled out here. So it tells us what the libraries are. So library is a collection of code that makes it easy for you to connect a sensor, display, module, etc. For example, the built-in liquid crystal display library makes it easier to talk to character LCD displays. There are hundreds of additional libraries available for it on the internet for download. So there are, I'll put this link in the comment section as well, and you can have a look through. There's a number of ways that you can install a library. So you can use the library manager. So you can go to Sketch and then Manage Libraries. And then within there, you can search the net for specific libraries. Like say you need the DHT11 and you don't have that within, for some reason it was missing on the Elegoo site there. You can easily download it here through the library manager. Okay, so that's one way you can bring in libraries. The other way that you can do it is you can import a zip library. So again, you're going to Sketch, include library, and then instead of using manage libraries, you're doing below, you're going to add a zip library, and that'll add the whole zip file to your libraries there. And then what we did was we went to the manual installation. When you want to install a library manually, you need to download it as a zip file, expand it, put it in the proper directory. So you can find or change the location of your sketchbook folder at File, Preferences, Sketchbook. So let's do that. Let's go to here and we'll go to File, Preferences, and Sketchbook. So here you can browse and you can place your sketchbook wherever you wish. Right? Find a place that makes sense to you. But this is where all of your sketches, so your programs that you're going to be writing are called sketches. So all of your programs will be placed into this folder. You need to have your libraries within the same folder there. Okay, so choose a place where you want to have your sketches. So for me, I've put it into my Documents folder, Documents Arduino, because I also have like my PLC stuff and everything in there. And you'll also, so if I go to there, just one more time. Whoa. Let's go here. So if I go to my documents, Arduino, there I will have all of my sketches as I go through, and my libraries are here as well. So let's save this as a test, right? And let's see if it actually goes to that folder there. Okay, so we'll save it there. Let's bring up the same one. Beautiful. So there's my test sketch right there. So my libraries are available here, and I will call them later on when we get into more complicated stuff with the servo, the stepper, and stuff like that. But all of my sketches are available here. If I close up my Arduino IDE and I open up the test sketch that I just saved, you can see that it's saved as an Arduino file. And if I double click on this guy, it brings up that program that we just saved there. Beautiful. Okay, so hopefully you're with me so far in that we have downloaded the Arduino IDE. We have looked at how to add the libraries. So we now have the libraries as part of our sketch folder, and we found that sketch folder by going to File, Preferences, and then we went to Sketchbook Location. Excellent. We will eventually get to programming, but let's take a look at the rest of the stuff that Elegoo has provided us in there. So I've got a number of different folders that are open here. So let's go to the desktop again. Let's go to the most complete starter kit, and we've copied this, so that's done. The next thing to look at is the data sheets. So if you open up the data sheets here, there is a disgusting amount of PDFs that are available for all the different components that are in that kit there. So say I'm working on the stepper motor, I need a little bit more information on the stepper motor. So I can open up this cut sheet here. And then you can see that it gives me the part number for that guy. Tells me that it's running on 5 volts, but I'm looking for the stride angle. So the stride angle is available right here. It also gives me some of the wiring for this guy as well. So if there's questions on different components and you need a little bit more information, then it will be available here on all of these cut sheets. Like let's take a look at the Arduino Uno. Does it have the actual Uno? There's the R3 board. So let's open this guy up. Okay, so it gives us some background on the Arduino. And then it shows us all of the different components on the board there. So digital pins, analog pins, and then where the I2C is, and then what the Atmega chip actually is, and where the USB interface is. So it tells us a number of things and then provides us some background on there as well. So if you have any questions on any of the components, you should be able to find the answer right here. Like let's take a look at this guy for the ultrasonic sensor here, because maybe we're not sure how to hook that guy up. So this one is not as sexy as the previous one in that it's just black and white. Oh no, there we go. But this one has the 4 different leads there. So we're not sure what each of those leads are, but just below it tells us that pin 1 is the V, and it's showing us pin 1 through 4 here when you're looking at the front face of the HC-SR04. So pin 1 is the VCC, so that's our 5 volts. Pin 4 is the ground. And then we have pin 2 is the trigger, and 3 is the echo there. So now we know what the component actually looks like, and we can see that those are the 4 pins, and those 4 pins are supposed to go to these specific components. Okay, so any questions should be available within those PDFs. And this is huge. Like if you're looking for, like sometimes you can spend forever just trying to find the cut sheet for something. It's all available here within the data sheets. Okay, so we've got, first we did the libraries. Now we've looked at all the data sheets here. Then below here it says program FAQ. Let's take a look at this guy. Okay, when learning Elego, the most complete kit for Uno, the IDE will be prompted with the following error. Okay, so it's just telling us to copy those folders that we did before. Okay, we did that. Okay, so this PDF is just basically telling us to that you may have an issue if you don't download the libraries. So we have done that. The Uno R3 driver FAQ. So it might be an idea just to quickly open up each of these PDFs and take a look. And this is just if you're having an issue, looks like talking to the Arduino. So if there is an issue on talking to your Arduino, they've got instructions on XP, Windows 7, Windows 10 on how to actually install the IDE and get everything working with your computer. But hopefully you don't have an issue with that. If you do, you can have a look at the frequently asked questions there. And the last thing to show you is within English, there is still even more information. So part 1, prep. So there's a packing list here. So it tells you, so if you lose that sheet, here's that sheet on the top of the unit here. So that shows you all the components that are in the kit. But if you lose that, then the packing list is here, and it shows you what every different component is within there, right? So if you're looking for a specific component, you can open up this PDF and find the diagram that shows you exactly what you're looking for. So we got a packing list there. Let's see, first look, Arduino. So it's cool. Like if you're a teacher, this is awesome because all your lessons are already set out here in a PDF. So you could place this onto your computer and then have your students going through each of these guys and really reducing the amount of time that you need to get up and running. So this looks like it gives you a little bit of background on the history of the Arduino. Look at this. So this took me quite a while just to do a PowerPoint when I was doing this earlier on the different components on the Arduino. This is awesome. It shows us everything on there, right? So it shows us all of our digital pins and analog pins, the difference between the 3.3 and the 5 volts there, the fact that there's multiple grounds there. So it tells you everything about the component there. Okay, it gives you some background on the voltage. So don't put more than 20 volts as a source, or else smoking a pancake. It tells you the difference between the 5 volts and the 3.3. And what I'll do is I've got a separate video where we will sit and go through each of these guys. But this also gives you a background that you can reference as well. This is pretty impressive. Okay, for Windows, setting up the development environment. So this then walks you through how to download the IDE, which we just saw, and then connecting up to the computer, and then selecting the appropriate COM port. We're going to do that in the next video when we start just with pin 13 with a with the light that turns on. For Mac and Ubuntu, developing a developed environment. Okay, we've done that, and then this guy. So blink and add libraries. We're going to do the blink in the next video, and we just added the libraries there. But again, if you wanted to walk through exactly what we just did here and have some paperwork to reference here, then this walks you through the blink, which we're going to do next, but then also goes through the steps on how to download your libraries. So if we scroll down here, there's everything on that first program there. And then right here, there's another thing that shows us how to use the library manager. So the 3 different ways of using managed libraries, adding a zip library, or just copying and paste into our documents folder there, or our sketch folder. Sweet. I mean, this is awesome. It's got everything in there. Okay, let's go back one page here. The module learning here, multi-module combination course. So let's take a look at this guy so far. So hopefully you're as impressed as I was in that we have all the cut sheets. It's walked us through everything. And now we've got this module learning that we're now opening up. And it's got different lessons here. So this is our first lesson on the LED. So it tells us what an LED is. Walks us through the breadboard and where you have continuity on each thing, what the positive and negative is on each of the LEDs, the reason why you need to have a current limiting resistor, and then how to read the color code. I mean, this is invaluable. As a teacher, this would take you hours to create, and it's ready to rock here. So they have already set up the wiring diagram for you, telling you exactly how to hook it up. And then we've got the first program that we saw with the blink that we can make use of. Okay, if we go back, then each of the different components that are in there. So it looks like there's a lesson on the RGB LED. So you can pick and choose. You don't have to go in the sequence that I'm going in here. You can pick and choose certain components here, and then it will provide you with a background. So here's the DHT11 temperature and humidity sensor. So we open this guy up. And it looks like, if I go back here, it looks like it already has an example program and it has the library as well. So remember I was saying that if you don't have the library available there, you can look for it on the net, but it seems like they have included the libraries within each of their examples as well. So for the DHT, this is lesson 11. And again, it walks you through the parameters of the unit, and it goes through the pin description, how to hook it up. So we have a schematic here. Then we have a wiring diagram here as well. I mean, this is mint. Shows us exactly how to hook this guy up. We already have the code there. I'm going to show you, we'll bring up their code, and then we may do our own code. But it already provides you with the code, so you can have a look at that and then change or modify it as you need it, right? Walks you through what the syntax is here. So different floats and stuff like that. And as you go through, it tells you exactly what you're looking for once you go to the serial monitor. So this is invaluable. It's got so many different components and cut sheets. And now we've got these modules here that we can go through, and every different thing that they have there, they will have a lesson on each of them there. Sweet. Okay, then we have the multi-module combination course. Let's take a look at this guy. So it looks like this one is, maybe this one's incorporating like a number of different components here. But it's got, like controlling a stepper motor with the remote. So let's take a look at that guy. because that would be pretty cool. Same thing. So again, it shows us all the components that are required there. They're all in your kit. Gives us the wiring diagram and the schematic there. It tells us exactly how to hook up our stepper motor there. Then, was there a code there as well? There is a code as well that you can bring up and have a look at. And then it has two libraries there that you can make use of. The infrared remote and the stepper motor library that you can incorporate into your libraries folder there. Awesome. Excellent, guys. All right, so hopefully you're impressed so far. I believe we went through everything on the Elego site, on the downloads. Make sure that you download it to, I would just download it to your desktop. I had an issue in that if I downloaded it to a different folder, then the length of the download name was a little bit too long, and I wasn't able to download each of the different files. So just download to your desktop, then you can move it wherever you wish. Okay, you've dropped in your libraries as well, and in addition to that, you've done another file folder as a backup for your libraries, and you put that on a stick. So as you do your sketches and everything, you may want to copy that folder and drop it onto a USB stick so that if your computer dies, you don't lose all of your sketches that you've been working on. All right, guys, we've done really well. We've got the Arduino installed here. We have all of our cut sheets there. You can have a look at the difference between the most complete starter kit and the super starter kit in the amount or lessons that are in there, but they should be fairly close to each other. I'm going to continue on with the most complete starter kit, and I will see you guys on the next video where we start off with the blink with, I believe, pin 13, and we'll have an LED blinking. All right, guys, thanks very much for your patience. I'll see you in the next video.